Alright, hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be kind of doing a little wrap up on the market. Even though it's not done yet, we are entering the final stages, and I'm just going to give you a little bit of thoughts on what we've done so far, which is essentially nothing but one person, and where I think we should go from here, whether this is right now, whether this is in the summer, and just my overall thoughts on the mercato, on Milan in general, and where we are going or where we should go as a club. Okay, as usual, when I'm doing transfer videos, I like to start from the front and go to the back. So we'll start up at top with strikers, attacking wingers, midfielders, stuff like that. So striker is where we start. It looks like we will be getting rid of Pietro Pellegrini. I did think that initially when we were offering the 3.5 million, that price-wise it actually wouldn't be such a bad move. I know he hasn't done much. He's kind of an injury case, and I really can't say that he's been a bad player. He just hasn't played because he's very injury prone. Now, will he get through that? I have no idea. He hasn't really even shown glimpses because we've just seen so little from him. So I'm not really upset that we're getting rid of him. I think it would have been smart to sign him for 3.5, and we tried, so we did all that we could. And then we were going to loan him out, see how he does on loan, and if he grows into a great player, awesome, but it's a really small risk at 3.5 mil. That being said, his parent club, I believe Monaco, did not want to go for that, which I understand, and so he's going back. So that's totally reasonable, that's fine, there's really no harm there. We then end up going for Lazetic. Now, Lazetic is not really known too well. I believe he was from Red Star Belgrade. A lot of hype about this kid, but how many people have there been hype about when they're 17, 18, 19 years old and nothing becomes of them? So my excitement level for this transfer is essentially zero. You could have basically inserted any name into there and said, oh, people are talking about this guy, and there you go. People may be excited, but he's got a lot to prove, a lot of years to go. I don't think it's really going to be very much of a important signing right now. Maybe for the years to come, so it is what it is. Glad that we have somebody there, probably for the youth sector, or to play like third to fourth string. And honestly, next year he's probably not even going to touch the field because I'm imagining we're going to sign 1 or 2 strikers. So that's what we've done so far. What should we do now? So I really would like us to go for a top-class striker, but we don't actually have the budget, so I think this is not the time. I would rather just go and get Andrea Belotti for free. He's always wanted to come here. He is a Milanisti. He has always wanted to push for Milan, and finally it can come true. Now, he is not the player that he once was a couple of years ago when he was banging in 20-plus goals. Now, he still does put in double-digit goals every season, and truthfully, that's pretty dang good. He's been a little injured, but if he can put that behind him, then this is probably a fantastic move. We could get a striker who, if he does regain form, could be worth a good chunk of money, and he loves the club. If he doesn't regain his form, it's really not too big of a deal as far as finances goes. As far as signing the striker, yes, it would be a big deal because we need somebody who's going to perform. But overall, it is a very risk-free move. It's free. Essentially, we're just paying his salary, which I don't think is going to be massive. And that's pretty much that. So I would 100% go and get Belotti. And then in the summertime, I would look for some options out there to drop some money on a world-class striker. That being said, I don't know if we're going to have the funds to do it, and I do think, unfortunately, that other positions are more important. If we still have Ibra next year, if we still have Giroud next year, we have Belotti, and then maybe this Lazetic plays a couple games in the Copa as a sub or something, we should probably be fine. Don't forget, we have Lorenzo Colombo on loan. Now, I would probably want to give him 1 more year out on loan to maybe a Serie A club, because I think this kid is bright. I think he's got a great future ahead of him, and I think he can be excellent for us. But after next year, I'm pretty sure both Ibra and Giroud are going to be gone. And so we're just going to be left with Belotti, and I'm not even going to count Lazetic in there. This is why in the summer, if we can, I would try and sign Gianluca Scamacca. Now, everybody who has followed my channel probably knows that I'm a big Scamacca fan. I thought that this guy has a ton of talent. You can see it. Things aren't difficult for him. If you look at how he plays, how he moves, he's very quick for a big guy. He's very skilled for a big guy. He doesn't move like a big guy. He's actually pretty fast. His touch on the ball is fantastic. His skill, just his natural ability, is amazing. The sky really is the limit for this guy, but as we know, natural ability is only a little bit of the battle in the professional realm. You need the mentality, you need the drive, you need the fitness, right? And that's what separates people like Cristiano Ronaldo from others. He's got a ton of natural ability, but other people have been born with more or the same natural ability. He just wants it really bad. Now, guys like Messi are their own little thing, but either way, my point is he needs to want this. And I think that he's ready for a big club move. Now, I don't like the price that they've slapped on him of 40 million. I think he's more on 25, But if you give him 25 mil plus bonuses and you do like it over maybe 2 years or so, you could probably have a very reasonable fee for a very good potential striker. Boom, you've got Scamacca, you've got Belotti, a couple younger backups, Colombo's coming up the ranks. And while I would have loved to get Vlahovic, it's just plain and simple, he was way too expensive and now Juve's got him. This will be a very good response for us as we desperately need a striker. Next, we're going to move out to the wings here. I think our left wing is set. Leao, Rebic, I don't think we have to touch that at all. It's completely fine, we don't need another player there. Attacking midfield, I'll go to after the right wing. So right wing next, I think this needs a massive upgrade. Junior Messias can score some goals, he's pretty decent, but most of the time, he might pop in there for a goal or two, and yes, those can be great here and there, but he's hardly had a really big impact. Yes, he's, as I said, he scored some goals, and you can't underwrite that, but he never comes on and just changes the game. You're like, wow, this guy's got something. I think he's a very smart player. He knows how to play, and I just wonder if he would have gotten into the scene, 5, 6, 7 years younger, he probably would become a dynamite player. But I think that I would not redeem this loan. It's too expensive. I think overall it's like 8 to 10 million, something like that. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that with what we pay now, plus what we would have to redeem him for it, if we do redeem it, it's just going to be too much. And every couple million is adding up, and eventually it leads to a good player. So I don't think we should waste that money. Now, who would I go for out wide? I personally would go for Domenico Berardi. I've said this for many seasons now. He is the guy. He is a captain of his team. He is a leader. He's been on the national team. He scores double-digit goals from the wings every single season. He takes free kicks. He delivers excellent crosses. He is incredibly smart, and he works very well with strikers. I think you cannot pass this opportunity up. He is ready to go. He's in his prime. He can give us several good years. If you want to go with a younger profile, I really do like Noah Lang. So those are my two options for a wide there. The cool thing about Noah Lang is he can also play at attacking mid, so that gives us a little more versatility, whereas Berardi, you've never really seen him play there, so probably would only be able to fill the right wing gap, which is fine. So those are my options for attack. Attacking midfield is the last spot that we will look at for that. I think that if we stick with a 4-2-3-1, I personally think we should get one more attacking midfield. I know we're going to be bringing in Yacine Adli, and while he can do attacking midfield, I think his ideal spot would be in a 3-man midfield with him playing as one of the kind of central mids with more of a license to attack, kind of as like a center mid / center attacking mid. I would personally put him there. I think that would be an excellent lineup, and I will discuss that at the very end here. But if we stick with the 4-2-3-1, I probably would look to pick up one more. Possibly, if you go with Noah Lang, you kind of kill two birds with one stone. Romain Faiva is not a possibility for us anymore, and we definitely missed the boat on him, but that's okay. There are other options out there. Every year a new name comes up, so I'm not really too worried about it. So for attacking mid, if we're going to stick with this formation, I would personally pick up one more attacking mid, maybe go with an option like a Noah Lang. I just don't think Brahim Diaz has it. Maybe it's okay enough if you've got Yacine Adli and then you've got Brahim Diaz backing him up and then Maldini as like a third string. Maybe that will be enough to work. But I personally would actually change formations so we don't even have to run attacking mid and place everybody in their ideal spots. That's just my thoughts, but I'll get to that in a second. Now for midfield, it actually does matter about formation. If we stick with the 2-man midfield, I think that there's one person we have to sign no matter what, and I'm really disappointed that we're not pushing harder for this guy. He literally fits the bill to a T. Zakaria. Dennis Zakaria is one of my favorite defensive type midfielders because he is experienced, he is a national team player, he actually fills a hole that we need. He will be able to so easily replace Kessie in our team. It just makes so much sense. Plus, he will be good in a 2-man. You play him next to Tonali. You have your ball winner, which actually Tonali is not a bad ball winner himself, but Zakaria can win the ball. He's got better passing range than Kessie as well. So you have those two next to each other. Beautiful. That would work great. Now, if you want to run a 3-man midfield, you can have him as the holding midfield in the back, or you can put Tonali back there. And then you have Zakaria, or you have Benacer, you can have Adli, and then you can have the last guy that I would consider purchasing, and that would be Renato Sanches. I've always been a fan of Renato Sanches. I think that he had a lot of hype initially. A lot of pressure was placed on him, and he couldn't handle it. Now he's got his mind right. He's got his confidence. He's got his feet underneath him. As you see with so many players, for example, look at Lucas Paqueta. He came on fire and then was terrible because there was too much expectation now that he had a good season. sucked for a while, and now he's good again. Same thing happened with Sanches. He's ready to go. He would like to come to Milan too, I believe. That would be a great signing, but only if we move to a 3-man midfield. I don't think he would be ideal in a 2-man midfield. He's active, he's busy, I think he'd be fine, but I think he's way better in a 3-man. And the reason why I think we should switch to a 3-man, because if we pick up Zakaria for free, by the way, and then we pay for Sanches, that's a pretty cheap investment in our midfield, buying 2 players for, one for a lowish fee. I mean, I don't think he's going to be that pricey, maybe around 20 mil. And for a player like that, I think it's a great option. And then 1 for free. You now have Zakaria, you've got Tonali, you've got Benacer, you've got Adli, Sanches, and Pobega, which we should definitely bring back. You've got 6 players for those 3 spots. So basically you have a substitute for each spot. They are all of quality enough to start, and any can come on as subs. So now you have true depth in those 3 spots there, and you have true quality. You have probably one of the best midfields out there, and you didn't spend too much. I think that is such a no-brainer. Just bring in Zakaria for free, bring back Pobega, you already got Adli, and you buy Sanches. You definitely run a 3-man midfield. Nobody is going to give a crap about Kessié being gone when you have that midfield running the show. That's what I would do 100% for Milan, and that's it. Now we move to the back line. Right back, I'm pretty sure we're all set. I would 100% redeem Florenzi. He has shown with time he's gotten better and better. I think he's great, and then you've always got Kalulu as a backup as well. So we're set at right back. Left back, we are making a massive mistake. We are letting Milos Kerkez go for a permanent move to AZ Alkmaar because he wants more first-time minutes. I said this from the start. I don't like Ballatore. It's a dumb signing. If we wanted to go and buy somebody, which we already had Kerkez, we could have just went and bought Petzela, who went to Atalanta, and he's been very good. It's really a no-brainer. But we went for Ballatore for some strange reason, because I think it was literally just because he's fast. That is such a dumb reason to pick a player, but we did it. He's been terrible as well, and now we have just wasted money, and we've shut down a kid who has true talent. Kerkez is going to be a stud. Mark my words, this guy's going to be a good freaking player. In a couple years, he's going to go move to some Premier League team. He's going to be fantastic for like 6-7 years. Boom, there you go. And now you have a great left back. We could have had an excellent deputy to Teo, which we already got in the team, but we chose to sign Ballatore, who sucks, to play over him and give this kid no minutes. If he would have been our second string and gotten the amount of games Ballatore has gotten, he'd probably be completely fine, staying happy, easy peasy. So now we probably have to go get a left back because Ballatore is injured, and as I already stressed earlier, he sucks. And Kerkez is now going to be gone. So we actually do need a left back, crazy enough. So I think that maybe now is not the time in this mercato. Maybe we just bring up a youngster to kind of help out with that. But in the summer, we're going to have to look for a cheap move. Maybe we go back for Petzela, since he's a good left back and he probably won't cost too much, but who knows at this point. So I'm unsure what to do at that spot. I actually right now would work with Kerkez and say, look, we'll keep you, we'll move you to the second lineup, but for some reason we just don't like it. So I think we're making a mistake there. Center backs, this is a hot topic for us. And I actually have quite a different view than a lot of people here. We're really looking at Sven Botman. And I actually like Botman a lot. I think Sven Botman is a good talent. He's raw, but he would probably fit as a guy to take over for Romagnoli. He's stronger than Romagnoli. He's not very fast, but he's a little faster than Romagnoli because, let's be honest, who isn't? But I think his profile would work well with Tomori, since he's more like a Romagnoli. He's good in the air, which Tomori's okay in the air, but he's great at marking the ground, and he's fast at recovery. So I think they would work very well together. That being said, he's 30 million, and I just don't think that it's worth it to spend that type of money. Is it a waste? No. Is it pointless? Yeah, it actually is. I think all you need to do is sign Romagnoli. He had one bad season for us last year, and it wasn't even a full bad season. It was a half of a bad season, and we just roasted the guy as if he was just dead to us. He's done nothing but been a loyal servant to Milan. Yes, he wants a high contract, but you know what? He's a good defender, and almost any big team in the world would sign him. I guarantee you he goes to a top club. He's not going to a Lazio. He's going to go to a Juve, a Barcelona. He's not going to go to a crappy team. And yet we are all too high and mighty to pay him a decent salary. Now, he'll even take a pay cut, but he just won't take the cutting in half pay cut that we want to give him. So we really should meet somewhere in the middle, finish that out. You've got your defender. He plays great with Tomori. And then you've got Kyer coming back from injury. I actually have a lot of faith in our youngsters behind them. I think Kalulu and Gabbia are actually going to be excellent defenders. Gabbia, his first 2 games did not start out so hot at all. I mean, it has to be said. Last year, I thought the guy was rock solid every time he played. But guess what? You give him a few games, he's been great. He makes a couple mistakes here and there, but he's young. You have to expect that. Give this guy some time and some minutes, and he's going to be fantastic. Look what's happened to Kalulu. He was a little raw, but he's gotten a lot of playing time at Milan already. At right back, then at center back, and now he's starting to show the fruits of that labor are paying off. We are playing the guy, and he's getting better. Do the same with Gabbia, you'll get a similar result. So I don't think we even need a center back. Just re-sign Romagnoli. You are fine. We can go look at a center back a few years down the road. Don't even worry about it. Then you can save $30 million and go spend that where we actually need it in our attack. I just want everybody to think about this for a second. Why would we waste $30 million on defense? Do you really think that Sven Botman is going to give us a Scudetto? If the answer is yes, you're crazy. They will never do that. Whenever Milan this day and age is bad, it's because we are toothless in attack. Almost every single time. If Ibra is not on, if Leao has a little bit of an off game, if Rebic is off or injured, we suck. Brahim Diaz is not the player we thought that he was at the beginning of the season, and that's fine. He's young. We made a mistake on pretending that was going to be our end-all be-all in a true attacking mid. Our right wing of Junior Macias was always a stopgap signing, and it should never be seen as something more. Scamacca is a bit part player. He's a great sub. He's a really hard worker, and that's it. He's got some talent, but he's not going to become a world-class player. There's no way that is in him. Maybe that is, and if he does, that would surprise the heck out of me, but there's not a world-class player in there. Leao, there's a world-class player in there, and I'm so glad he dropped a lot of the issues he was having last year, because this year he has been fire. But that's it. We've got Leao. We've got Rebic, who half the season is injured every single season. That's all we've got. Ibra is getting less and less consistent as he ages. So you tell me where we're going to win a Scudetto, and in my opinion, it's up front. We need 2 pieces up there. We just need it. Adli's going to be a great addition, but we need a right wing who can put in goals, and we need a striker. Maybe that guy's Belotti, maybe it's Scamacca. In my opinion, I would get them both and be done. And then you go get Noah Lang or Berardi for your right side, and you are set. You now have a scary attack that any team is going to fear. You have a great midfield that we talked about a little bit earlier here, and your defense stays the same. Please tell me how this defense that we have right now, even if we're playing the young kids, how is it doing poorly? It's not. Yeah, they'll make some mistakes, but that is not where we are failing in these games. We're failing because we can't score. We're failing because we can't transition the attack, because our strikers, if Ibra's not on, can't do anything. So don't waste the money. I know Milan will never hear this, but I really think I'm right here, and I think we're making a bad mistake by not just giving Romagnoli a fair and good salary and actually spending the money where we should need it, and that's up front. Let me know if you guys agree in the comments below. Overall, I think that the options I've laid out is really not too expensive to kind of transform this team and give us some quality. I think Milan is done with just signing a bunch of people. We just need to target 2 to 3 people, and that's it. We can get a free Belotti, a free Zakaria, which is excellent, and we would pay for Scamacca and either one of Berardi or Noah Lang, and then maybe Renato Sanches. That's not that bad for a completely stacked team. So those are my thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think, and thank you for taking the time to hang out with me. Take care, and as always, Forza Milan.